welcome back to this week's DeMatha Stag Report. I'm Declan, here joined by Connor, and you might have noticed that I'm not in the typical DeMatha tie and blazer today. I'm in the DeMatha polo, because of starting on Wednesday, us seniors are allowed to wear these polos, so that's wonderful. Sadly, you guys are going to have to wait a little bit. You'll have to wait till May 4th.
We actually have to wait till May 4th, which does kind of stink, but obviously it's senior privileges. You guys are ahead of us, so that's cool. You know, your senior is actually, let's just start off right with that. Your senior year is actually coming to an end soon. It was your first year here at DeMatha, but it's also your last. So honestly, what did you really like? What was your favorite part about this year?
Yeah, it was my first full year here, but it's always great to just see. One thing you always learn about DeMatha is the brotherhood, and you hear, and when you hear about brotherhood, you may think, oh, like, how can there really be brotherhood? But here, it's really true. Everyone always comes out for each other. Everyone always supports different sports, different activities. The band program's really tight, everything like that. It's really cool to see.
Definitely. And was there like a specific memory you can name right off the top of your head that was your favorite about this year?
Off the top of my head, of this year.
Yeah, like any sports, football.
The triple overtime Gonzaga.
Yeah, that was good.
That
was a good time. I was in the student section of that game. There was a lot of energy that game. Yeah, I'll remember that for a while also. But sadly, we still do have about a month and a half left of school. So, coming up, we have a half day actually on the 15th. So that's on Monday, and so that actually is only a 3-day weekend because we actually get off on the 17th is our last day, and that's a tag day. You pay $2. We're raising money for the DeMatha Latino community, which is a club. So, they're just raising money to the cause.
Yeah. So the DLC, it's you have to either wear a DeMatha apparel or anything that represents your heritage. So, if you're an American, you can wear like an American flag shirt or something like that. Or if you're Venezuelan like me, I don't know, I might have to bust out a soccer jersey or something. We'll have to find something. Yeah, no,
definitely. So that's exciting, especially it's the last day before break. So, it kind of gives us a break. But on the 16th, we have character conversations in homeroom. So we have character conversations about, maybe 4 times a year, every quarter. And basically, in our inner-room classes, we really just talk about some traits that we can, like, as a DeMatha community, we can work on better. So, what are your experiences with these character conversations?
Character conversations are always good. They're always interesting. I remember after the last one, it was the story of the New Jersey, the money, and I remember people were talking about that for the rest of the day.
Exactly.
So
it is a topic of conversation, definitely. And what they really try to do is just try to, like, teach us, like, I would say morals more so, and just, like, really character, like, just good character traits and how we should be, like, how, like, you present your character as a whole. So I think it's really good for the DeMatha community. Those are kind of happening during interim on the 16th. But yeah, so after the 16th, the 17th is our last day of school, as I just said, and then we have Easter break. So Easter break is 5 days. We have 5 days. Thursday,
we have off till the Monday.
Exactly.
So we come back on the Tuesday, which will be the 23rd, and then band kids, you don't really have that much school left that week. You only have a couple of days, and your music trip starts on 25th to Boston, which I'm pretty jealous of, to be honest.
I'm pretty jealous also. That
city.
Music trip is always a big deal for the music department at DeMatha. I know they have a couple competitions going up there. DeMatha always competes very well in those competitions for music. So, I'm not sure exactly what the but hopefully they can come back with a win, right?
Yeah, hopefully. I remember last year they had a clean sweep. So
definitely. I hope we get
expectations are high.
Going back a little bit, Easter break. Do you have any big plans for Easter break?
Easter break, not really. Some of the families coming down,
Definitely.
What about you?
I actually will be going up to New York to see my family for Easter break. Definitely going to spend Easter Sunday with my family. I actually have a game Saturday against Broadneck at Broadneck, so lacrosse. So that's going to be a big deal. So I kind of actually do have a pretty busy Easter break, but it is nice to have like a little bit of break from school. So yeah, but coming back on classes resume the 23rd, and from that May 1st we have the academic awards. So. Do you think you'll be attending that academic awards?
I've been nominated, but I don't think I'm going to attend it.
You don't think so? Hopefully I will be. My GPA is looking pretty good this year.
Yes, sir.
So that's always a big deal at DeMatha, yeah. But no, definitely. I've been working really hard this quarter. I've been working really hard this year, so hopefully I'll be there. April 26th, we also have a half day. I'm not sure what that's for, but we do have a half day 26th.
We have a half day then. And so to transition, you mentioned you had that lacrosse game on Saturday.
Yes.
What other lacrosse games do you guys have coming up?
We actually have LaSalle on the 15th, and then the Heights on the 17th. So those are obviously going to be big games. Our season, we've been doing pretty good. Okay, it's a 7-5 record. So I mean, we have a couple of games left in the season. I mean, hopefully we can just pull through strong. We have some big games, conference games that are really going to mean a lot. Obviously, Gonzaga on the 30th.
Yeah, it's going
to be a huge game. You know, they're a great team this year. They're ranked number 10 in the nation preseason. So we definitely are going to come out with a lot of intensity, and hopefully we can pull out a win. Our last regular season game is PVI, Paul VI, on the 2nd of May, and another big conference game, and hopefully we can pull out a win. And from that, we go right into playoffs. So we're really hoping to get a good seed. You know, we fell short to St. John's, but we did beat O'Connell. So hopefully everything works out in the end in our favor. And yeah.
Yeah, it's very, as you saw, even this year in the football playoffs, Gonzaga had that good run. It's all just about getting revved up and getting ready for the playoffs.
I mean, no matter what, anytime you play Gonzaga, the game's always a toss. There's so much intensity going into any sport, any game. If it's against Gonzaga, there's always just a lot of intensity. So that's going to be a huge game. So, yeah.
We'll be back with Ashby Ervin for a little baseball interview after this break.
Came and went like the summertime. Was at a sunset or sunrise. Looking back like where'd the time go? So much for trying to keep this moving slow.
Welcome back to the DeMatha Stag Report. So I'm joined by baseball player and submarine pitcher Ashby Ervin. So tell us a little about that. How did you get started submarine pitching and everything that comes with being that unorthodox type of pitcher?
Yeah, well, basically, I always loved really pitching. That was kind of like the best part of like the game to me, and that's what I enjoyed most while I was playing as a kid. But like as you're playing and you start pitching over the years, and like 11, 12, 13 years old before you come to high school, really, and just had like a lot of elbow soreness, really, just from pitching a lot, and I was just messing around, throwing up and warm-ups when I was younger, and kind of found out that throwing like that actually kind of like relieves some of the stress on your elbow. So I started throwing like that, working with it, and as my time here at DeMatha, I've kind of like try to improve on that and figure out which way works best and what pitches work best with that different arm slot. So
yeah, for sure. So what are some of the what's your favorite batter reaction to seeing you, or like when you see them?
I think it's really funny that anytime you throw a slider. So a slider's a pitch that like either you can start it and it starts like going towards the batter's hips and then it just dives right down the curve or into the zone, or the one that starts in the zone and just falls off. But really, that pitch, if you throw it right, it just makes hitters look foolish, and it's really fun.
That's fun. So recently you guys went down on a trip to Florida, which seems very fun. You guys took the bus. Can you tell me a little bit about what happened on that bus?
Oh yeah, that was a pretty hectic trip. We were just action packed nonstop. But we went down to Sanford, Florida, and we played a lot of really good competition down there. But the bus ride's always fun. You got your phone, you got tablets, so you're watching movies, you're doing stuff the whole time, and you're with all your teammates. So it goes by a lot quicker than you might think. But a 16-hour bus ride is a pretty decent time.
And I heard you had a little paintball war, and I heard some of the teachers and some of the trainers got a little bit of revenge on some kids.
They did. Well, we played the lacrosse team, and right off the bat they set us up pretty bad. I think the lacrosse team had like 15 more kids than us on the field, and they had a couple of the trainers and all their coaches played. So it was a little unfair, but we'll take it. And it was definitely a great time seeing both the DeMatha teams come together and really like just for an activity of 2 hours just go hard and shoot paintballs at each other. Can't ask for more than that.
It's always great to see brotherhood being built. So so who on the team has impressed you the most this season? Not as maybe the best player, but the player that's come the most out of left field, the most unexpected, most improved player.
Well, I think Khalil Brown, for one, is our starting shortstop this year. And Khalil was backup shortstop last year because Thomas Keene, if you remember, he was here. But Thomas actually graduated early this year, so he could play at Duke. So right now, like Khalil's got this huge role to fill that we thought there was a spot going to be there this year, and it's not. So he's doing a real good job. He's picking up the leadership. He's putting the team on his back, and he's saying, "Come on, like this is our year. We gotta go do this." And he's putting the front foot forward first, and it's like, let's go do it. Let's go get this championship.
Yeah, for sure. And I know Khalil pretty well. He's a pretty good guy. So obviously last year, made it to the finals, fell a little short. Who are you looking forward to playing the most?
Definitely St. John's again. We know, we want that back, but also PVI. We played PVI this week and handled them pretty well. Beat them 8-4. But we just don't like those guys. Just kind of like the money little snotty kids over there. But that's all right. We got them this year, and we'll get them again by the end of this season, and hopefully we get to see them in playoffs too.
All right, and any final thoughts on the season or anything you want to say?
Nah, just senior year. It's coming to an end. Very exciting to see what we got going on next year and what this summer has in tow for us.
All right, well, that's all we have for today. Thank you for joining us on this Stag Report, and be sure to see you soon.